I was in the Air Force. I was in the Air Force from 87 till 93, 94. I signed up for 6 years, like right off the bat, as a special program that they had. Normally it was like 4 years. So.
And were you an auto mechanic in the Air Force?
Yeah, I was a general purpose auto mechanic, which was basically cars, trucks, semi-tractor trailers, everything in between. When I was in the Air Force in the Gulf War #1, they sent me over to Saudi Arabia in like late 91. I got sent over to Saudi Arabia, so they told me it was going to be for 3 months. So I paid my bills like 3 months ahead of time, and I had like a checking account with direct deposit. All my pay went into that bank account. So I get over to Saudi Arabia, and they tell me, oh, no, 3 months. No, everybody's here for at least 6 months. So I'm like, oh, crap. All my money was direct depositing into a checking account for 6 months, and I couldn't spend any of it. So I got back from Saudi Arabia, and I had 6 months' pay saved up. So I decided, I'm like, I guess I'm going to buy a split window Beetle now, because they were... it was not cheap back in 1992. This is still the most expensive car I've ever bought in 1992.
Where'd you find it?
Before the internet, there was a Volkswagen newsletter. There was a national newsletter. It was a little stapled together pamphlet, basically, the Vintage Volkswagen Club, and there was a classified in the back of it. And it was between this one and another one. This is a 52. And another guy out in I was out in California at the time, so I was in Germany from 88 to 90, and then they sent me to California. I guess it was the Volkswagen tour. You send you to Germany, and then you send you to California, where there's a car show with Volkswagens every weekend, basically, year round. So it was between this one, this 52 that was all original, never been restored, had all its parts with it, and another guy had a 1947 Beetle. It was a 1947 Beetle, but it was just a shell. It had no engine, just gutted out on the inside of it. And the two of them were the same price, though. So I'm like, yeah, 52 is not as rare as a 47, but you can still get parts for them. And this one has all its parts with it, so I ended up getting this one. It was in Santa Barbara, California, is where it was when I bought it.
And so how much did it cost, and what would it cost today?
When I bought it in 1992, it was $4,000, and it's probably worth between 15 and 20 now, like a rough estimate, depending on...
Because it's rare, you
yeah,
can't
it's
find them.
Very sought after and rare.
Especially because of the split window in the back.
Yeah, this is a later one, but it's the other thing with this car is that this is called a Hoffman car. The first Volkswagen. He wasn't really a dealership. The first guy that sold Volkswagens was Max Hoffman in New York City, and he was a he was a Jaguar and Porsche and exotic car dealer in New York City. So I've heard that in order to get the Porsches that he was selling, they would make him buy a couple of Volkswagens so they could fill the boat up or something. But this was the same guy that he was the same guy that recommended Mercedes make the 300 SL Gullwing, and he also the BMW 507, 50 something or other. But yeah, the same guy that sold this car was responsible for a lot of the early 50s German cars coming over to America.
Okay, great.